it just shows that if you set your mind to something and just are dedicated, that anything is possible.
Anthony Joshua break his public silence for the first time since the crash. In a post that was shared to Instagram, the world heavyweight champion released an image alongside what appears to be perhaps the parents of Gami and Ayodele, offering a quiet but powerful tribute to
Jake Paul's first words after meeting Anthony Joshua following crash. Jake Paul couldn't hide his concern after finally meeting Anthony Joshua following the tragic accident. He admitted how badly Age had been affected, saying it was a shocking moment to see him like that. Paul emphasized dedication and mindset, but it was clear his heart went out to Age, hoping he recovers and finds some peace after such a traumatic event.
But bro is like so powerful, so skillful, relentless.
Jake Paul pays tribute to Age's late friends. Jake Paul showed a deeply human side as he paid tribute to Anthony Joshua's friends who tragically lost their lives. He acknowledged the weight of the loss and expressed respect, showing that beyond the drama and rivalry, he truly understands the pain Age is going through. The moment was somber, but heartfelt. Anthony Joshua breaks down in tears at Cena and Lat's funeral after being discharged from the hospital following the tragic crash that claimed his two closest friends and coaches. Aj showed a heartbreaking side fans rarely see. Watching him break down at their funeral was a painful reminder that beyond the champion, he's a man who just lost brothers. Spencer Fearon says he met Anthony Joshua at the funeral after Aj had been discharged from the hospital, emotionally exhausted but determined to be there for his fallen friends. Aj's embrace and quiet moment with Fearon showed that beyond the fight world, he's just a grieving man still processing shock and loss after tragedy struck his inner circle.
Walking out, because I wasn't going to go say anything to him. When I was walking out, then I got tapped on the shoulder. I turned around and it was Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And we had a brief chat and a little embrace and that, and then I left. But it was, funerals are never good. But
Johnny Nelson comes off the cage and points out the brutal truth every boxing fan tries to dodge. This isn't about belts or paydays. This is about two men gone forever and the wreckage left behind for their families. As an analyst, you can almost hear the weight in his voice. Because for Aj, this cuts way deeper than boxing ever could.
Not talk about these two young men that lost their lives and their families, how it's affected their families. So you want to concentrate on AJ. How's it going to affect AJ? Instead of concentrating on how's it affected the people that have lost.
Counterpunch boxing reflects on life's cruel twists in a way few analysts dare to. Anthony Joshua survived a horrific crash that claimed two of his closest friends, and this moment highlights the harsh reality that sometimes the best suffer first. In the ring or outside it, nothing prepares you for this level of loss, a stark reminder of how fragile life truly is.
You look at it's always the people that are the best, or, that end up going first. And you examine like, well, why wasn't it me, or why did this have to happen?
Anthony Joshua, reflecting on life with his friends before the crash, shared wisdom that now resonates painfully in hindsight. His words remind us that life is fleeting, and the company we keep shapes who we become. Before tragedy struck, Aj emphasized staying true to oneself and choosing relationships carefully, advice made tragically real by the loss of his closest friends. In moments like this, his philosophy hits harder than any punch ever could.
Just trying to find happiness within yourself. A true blessing is actually making it into this earth. Everyone dies at some stage. So I think across the board, one has to be happy inside. No matter about the material possession one owns, how that's a car and a driving. Very, very careful of other people we choose to hang around with and associate them, because you soon become like the people who spend versatile hell. If she come the country round of lions, she receive it on her life. So pick your friends and your circle wisely. My sister the kids is it starts to flourish and grow, and blossom, rather than perish, made away and died. So look at the environment, it's the same thing.
Showbiz the Adult highlights the chilling reality of the accident and the legal consequences surrounding it. The footage of Aj with his friends before the crash underscores the fragility of life, and Nigerian authorities have made it clear. Reckless driving with fatal results carries severe penalties, up to 7 years. For fans and analysts, it's a stark reminder that outside the ring, accountability is real, and even stars aren't immune to the consequences of careless actions. This incident transforms from a personal tragedy into a sobering warning, illustrating the intersection of fame, responsibility, and the harsh truths of life.
This is a real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7 years.
Anthony Joshua's first social media post after the tragic crash speaks volumes about his mindset. Labeling himself my brother's keeper, Aj takes ownership not just of the grief, but of responsibility for those affected. Beyond boxing, this is a man trying to hold the pieces together for his fallen friends and their families, showing resilience and leadership in the face of unimaginable tragedy.
This is Anthony Joshua's first post since the tragic accident, okay? This came from his social media, and of course, if you guys didn't see it in the preview of the video, it was simple but strong and powerful, and it stated, "My brother's keeper." And in this situation, it means that he's going to take care of everything. He's responsible for his brothers.
Gerald Miller expresses deep empathy for Aj, despite not being close personally. He captures the mental toll this tragedy takes on everyone connected, from family to friends to even rivals. The stress of seeing such chaos online magnifies the pain, highlighting that surviving the crash is only half the battle. Processing grief in public is an entirely different fight.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ, we're not on the best terms, man, I feel for this brother, man. Because it could have been my family, could have been my friends. And, I feel like, man, it's mentally, kind of draining looking at this stuff all day online. And like I said, I didn't really see nothing too graphic until this morning. Now I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life, man. I've seen dead bodies before and all that. And, man, I don't even know how to even express myself.
Johnny Nelson reminds us of life's fragility beyond the glitz of the boxing world. Arguments, rivalries, and victories mean nothing when confronted with death. His analysis underscores that AJ and everyone involved are processing profound loss. And it's a stark reminder that those who passed were more than fighters. They were sons, friends, and family, forever missed.
Nigeria, it's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing a life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these two men who were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their life.
Pain Game breaks down the sheer physical and mental toll Ajay is enduring following the crash. And this is where boxing fans really begin to understand the human side of a champion. Anthony Joshua is trained to take punishment in the ring, but surviving a high-speed crash is a completely different challenge. The body's trauma, the internal injuries, and the shock are all compounded by the psychological burden of seeing friends lost in the same incident. Even seasoned analysts know that no amount of training prepares someone for this level of real-life brutality. Pain Game emphasizes the careful handling required in these situations. One wrong move during rescue or treatment could have worsened matters. For Aj, who spends his life absorbing punishment professionally, every step of recovery is now a battle outside the ring. This clip reminds fans that champions are human, vulnerable, and sometimes life's punches are far harsher than anything in boxing.
Been through such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to...
Showbiz the Adult highlights the legal implications of the crash and the very real consequences of reckless behavior. In Nigeria, causing a fatality on a federal road can carry up to 7 years in prison. And this puts the entire situation into perspective beyond the emotional tragedy. Anthony Joshua survived, but his friends did not, and the man responsible now faces a serious legal battle that will undoubtedly dominate headlines and public attention. For analysts, this isn't just a case study in law, it's a lesson in responsibility and accountability. Boxing fans are used to seeing Aj take calculated risks in the ring, but outside it, the stakes are entirely different. This moment underscores the fragility of life, the consequences of negligence, and the stark contrast between controlled athletic risk and reckless actions. It's a reminder that even champions are powerless against the consequences of someone else's choices.
This is a real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7 years.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes the responsibility surrounding Aj and his loved ones after the crash. In boxing, promoters manage fights, contracts, and media, but life outside the ring brings responsibilities no one can ignore. Hearn's commentary highlights the holistic care required, ensuring Anthony receives optimal medical attention, safeguarding his family's welfare, and providing emotional support. The tragedy shows that fame can be a double-edged sword. The public sees the star, but the human behind it bears the weight of loss and fear.
Of dealing with the inquiries and the media, and you can imagine how many people are trying to find out.
Gareth Davies underscores the gravity of the tragedy and the critical role of responsible journalism. In a world where every headline can go viral in seconds, Davies praises measured reporting, which balances public interest with sensitivity for the victims' families. Anthony Joshua survived, but 2 lives were lost, and the boxing world must reckon with the emotional fallout. Analysts often focus on fights, strategies, and rankings. Yet this incident reminds us that life outside the ring carries stakes no athlete can control. Responsible media coverage ensures facts are accurate while protecting those grieving, preventing speculation that can compound trauma. Davies' commentary highlights how management, media, and fans intersect in crisis management, emphasizing accountability, ethics, and humanity over sensationalism.
Of what happened, obviously it's a tragic incident. 2 people have lost their lives. It's a horrific moment. I thought the reporting of it yesterday, I've read and obviously got in contact with his management team straight away. I thought the reporting of it was responsible, not...
Tyson Fury's reaction reflects the shock and solidarity within the boxing community after Anthony Joshua's horrific crash. Fury, a champion known for his in-ring bravado, becomes human in these moments, showing concern for a fellow fighter who survived a tragedy that claimed 2 of his closest friends. Analysts often point out that boxing is a brutal sport, but incidents like this expose life's unpredictability and vulnerability beyond the ropes. Fury's reaction also resonates with fans, reminding everyone that rivalries and titles pale in comparison to human life and friendship. Behind the headlines, the community must now navigate grief, public scrutiny, and support for Aj as he recovers. Fury's response highlights the respect elite fighters have for one another, reinforcing that compassion is as critical in boxing as skill. His concern, coupled with his voice reaching millions, amplifies the message that safety, accountability, and solidarity matter far beyond any fight card. As we wrap up this tragic story, one thing is crystal clear. Anthony Joshua survived a nightmare that could have claimed him, but the loss of his friends leaves an unshakable mark. From the crash to the funerals, the emotional toll on Aj and everyone involved reminds us that life outside the ring can hit harder than any punch. It's a stark reminder to cherish every moment and the people around us. Boxing fans, fighters, and supporters alike, this isn't just about fights or rivalries. It's about humanity, responsibility, and compassion. If you've been following Ajay's journey, drop your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think he'll recover from this both mentally and physically? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all the latest updates.